What's up, YouTube? It's your barber girl, Tafara the Barber, and welcome to another fade on the Fade Room. Today, as you can see, we have our client here, and we about to give him a drop fade. So let's get into it. Now we're gonna start combing the hair out, clearing the hair out, so we could have a really nice, clean, smooth canvas to work with. While we start out, here we're just gonna speed this up to get through this clearing out of his hair. And for him, we're gonna clear all the way out from where you can see the separation from the top of the hair to where you're gonna be fading. He doesn't want it to fade into his stretch, he wants the separation with his fade. So we're gonna start first. We're gonna take our liner. We're gonna start out with our liner, and we're gonna go here and create our first guideline. As you can see, we're pretty much balding out this area. We're starting pretty low because this is going to be a transitional fade all the way up to the top. I like to start low so I could give my fades a really nice fade. Plus, remember, this is a drop fade, so we also got to start pretty low. Here we go, just making sure our guidelines are really nice, neat, and defined. And then we can move into our fade. First, I go to create my second, to bring the hair down to the desired level that we're gonna fade into, which is a 1. As you guys can see that, we're just gonna clean this whole area out. And as we actually gradually fade this hair out, that dark spot at the top is actually gonna be blended all the way in. Now we're gonna move into our next guideline, which is our clipper all the way closed. And then we're just gonna create not even a whole inch. It's gonna be less than an inch, and like I said in the previous video, if you guys haven't watched the first video, this is so that we have a good transition. Next, we're gonna move into our third step, which is the clipper all the way open, and we're going to go ahead and make about an inch of our guideline. And as you guys can see, we're pretty much getting that hair out of there and creating that guideline. As you guys could tell already so far from this cut, we're doing one half of the head, and then we're going to move into the second half of the head. So now, instead of having our clipper all the way open, we're going to close our clipper halfway, just so we could take that guideline out that's right there. And we're just gonna flick out that guideline. We're not going all the way to the top, even though it looks like that. It's stopping right at where that guideline is, that harsh guideline, and we're taking it out. And as you guys can see, it's already blending out. And later on, we're just gonna go and move our clipper up and down and fade it so that it could look blended even more. And here you guys are. It's pretty much blended out. We're just gonna take our time, flick out, and make sure we take out those guidelines. And as you guys can see, the shape of the hair, it's a drop fade. You see how the dark guideline starts very high at the top and falls all the way at the back. And that's the look that we're going for throughout this whole haircut. And this is just, you know, flicking the lever back and forth, switching the lever, and flicking out those extra hairs that we needed to. So now we're going to move into our next step, which is the number 1 all the way closed, and we're going to create our next guideline. Same thing, we're going to go about an inch up, create that guideline, and make sure we stay with it throughout the whole back. As you guys are going to see, as this haircut progresses, it's going to look like the front has less hair that we could actually create a guideline than the back, but that's the look that we're going for. That's the silhouette that we're going for this haircut. It's a bit of a different type of haircut, and you know, if you're not familiar with it, it'll probably be a little bit challenging, but if you just follow the steps and know exactly what look you're looking for, you'll be able to achieve this cut. So now we're gonna go with our half guard all the way closed on our masters, and we're gonna flick out that guideline that we just created. And as you guys can see, it's flicking out all the way. Just flick, and we're taking that guideline out. So that's all we gotta do, guys. Just keep flicking, create a guideline with it open, and go back in with the clipper, either halfway closed or all the way closed. It all depends. You just gotta be a good judge and learn how to judge the way your clippers are gonna cut and what you need to take out. Sometimes even if you close it, that guideline doesn't come out, so you just gotta adjust Just flick your lever up and down however much you need to get those lines out. And as you can see here, I still have part of that guideline left. So now I took the half guard off and I'm going back in with no guard, my clipper all the way open, just to knock out that extra guideline that's there. And this is just a part of adjusting throughout the haircut, knowing that you couldn't take any more of that guideline off with the guard, with the half guard on. So now you go with it no guard, all the way open, and as you can see, it's blending pretty good. We're also not encroaching on the top part of our dark guideline that we had already created previously, so we're just flicking out. It looks like a straight up motion, but it's actually a straight up slash flicking out. So I'm not touching any part of the top guidelines, but we're actually making sure we get to the point where the blade that cuts, the cutting blade, is actually taking out that guideline. And as you can see, this blend is coming out pretty smooth, you guys. And that's the look we're going for, a pretty smooth, clean, transitional blend all the way to the top. And this is what I was telling you guys. Do you see how the hair to create another guideline is not at the front of the lineup anymore? It's pretty much moved back some. But like I stated, this is the look that we're going for this cut. And the end product to this cut, I believe you guys are going to really enjoy it and like it, because it's not a traditional straight uniform cut. It's an improvised cut, and you got to be creative sometimes. Get creative with your cuts. Your clients are gonna love it. And here we go, we're creating our next guideline. As you guys can see, we're almost at the top with that one that we came down to create our base. And here we are, we're just gonna, this is the number one all the way open, and now we're going to go back in with the number one all the way closed, just to knock out that guideline after this step. We still got it open here, and here we go, we're going to close it just to knock out that guideline. And you're going to see how smooth and nice this blend is going to keep coming out. Follow the steps and trust the process, and you get very good results at the end of your cut. You guys can see we're going at an angle at this area because we do want that look of a drop fade in the back of the head. Even though we're really, really high at the front, we want that drop look in the back. So to keep that drop look, you gotta blend it at an angle, so you're not going straight across and creating another guideline. As you guys can see, the top is pretty much almost blended at the front and almost all the way to the dreads level at the top, but the back is pretty low, so we got to go ahead and keep blending at the back here. And this is the look that we're going for. That's the shape. We just go back in and clean the top area just to get more of a separation from the top of the dreads into the fade. And we're going, this is the number one guard that we have here. As you can see, it's smoothing out, kind of creating that transition, and we just go back and keep doing cleanup work, detail work, cleanup work, just to get that blend nice and smooth as we can before we move to the next side, which is now we're on the other side. And this side is going to go a little faster just because we already did the first side and showed exactly how our steps are going, so we're just going to follow the same process on this side of the hair. Going in, creating our first guideline, balding it out so we can get that nice smooth blend, and we're just going to move up from there. I'll say this, as far as this channel, as you guys know, if you have seen my first video, you'll see that I did my first video with a different technique, which is I did the whole head all at once. And this is a different way of doing one half and then doing the next half. This is probably my fourth or fifth time doing half of a head one at a time, and it can be challenging, but like I said, it's, you know, you could be different, could be creative and do different things just so you don't get bored while you're cutting hair. And the main thing to remember while you do this, if you do go ahead and just doing half of the head and moving to the other half, is making sure both halves match up. That's the last thing you need, is to make one half not match to the next half, and then you won't be able to fix it at that. But you know, That's how you learn. So here we go. We're just gonna keep doing the same steps over and over, creating a guideline again, and blending it out. Like I said, this is just gonna be a faster part to this video, just to show you guys how we blend and match the other side to the first side that we had completed. And so far, as you can see, I'm pretty much following this as much as I can, matching the right side to the left side, and taking our time, blending it out, blending it out. At the end of this cut, it's going to be so smooth. You guys are going to see the drop to the back of this fade that just, you know, accentuate the back of his head and not just, you know, bald out the back of their head, because a lot of times this could be a cut where it's just straight across, where if you can really tell, this cut is following his silhouette, following the shape of his head, and accentuate, you know, a different part of the back part of his head. So it's not just balded out and shining. You get an actual fade that falls in the back there. A good thing to remember is also when you're fading, you could follow the shape of the head, and we're just gonna keep blending, pretty much blend this whole area out. And as you can see, it's matching up pretty good to the first side, and we're just gonna keep blending. Just keep blending it out, blending those hairs and matching this left side to the right side. And as you could tell, as you guys can see already, this cut is really complementing the shape of his head. And for a lot of people who just want, you know, a haircut, this kind of gives you that a little bit of oomph, you know, at the end of the haircut, where it's not just a basic haircut every single time. Learn how to work with the person within their haircut. You know, if they don't like a whole lot going on, there's still ways that you can work with them. And go just keep fading, move back in with that one guard and close it, fade out that line. Fading out that line. Thank you guys, all you guys, for all the support so far with my first video. I really will appreciate it, and I can't wait to make really more cool videos like this for you guys to enjoy, because I sure do enjoy making them for you. And here we are. We're just gonna keep going back with that number one, knock out that bulk, just to make that blend stand out even more. And here we go. As barbers know, this is where you make your money. This is your kill shot. This is where you know, you gotta put in all the work and everything. Your fade could be good, but if the lineup ain't good, we got a problem. So here we go, just knocking that hair down to the number one. Sometimes I like to leave the hairline, depending on how their hairline looks, I like to leave it a little higher than the rest of the fade, just so I could have like a nice darker look in the front. But for his hair, because he has such a light baby brown hair, I kind of take it a little lower and just blend it in, just so we can have a nice smoother blend, and also have that detached look from the top into the front of the hairline. Gonna put some shaving cream on the hairline just to cleanse the hair, just to cleanse the area of the lineup, so when we go in and hit that line, it's nice and crispy, and you know, we don't have a lot of excess oil there, just so we could get that nice lineup for this nice fade that we just gave them. Your lineup is your kill shot, guys, so try to do as much as you can to prepare the hairline before you even go in and start. And here, did a clean his hairline, and we're gonna go back in with a blow dryer, or either cool or cold, depending on, you know, how the client likes it. And then we're just gonna dry this area out, dry his hairline out, and keep preparing it for that nice crispy lineup. As you can see, look at that fade. Ooh, just smooth, just smooth. That's what you want to see. And here we are. We're gonna go into that line, and as you guys can see, that preparation to that hairline allows you to really go in and give him a hairline like this and get his line up really straight and crisp as you can. Now we're gonna go on our vertical bars and create that line up too. Just keep going. As you guys can see so far, we're just tapping and creating that line. Not taking his line up too high or too wide. Just following his natural pattern of his hair. He has excess hair growth on his forehead, so you know you have to just be imaginative and match his hairline to where it pretty much starts, and at that area is where the darker part of his hairline starts. So we're just gonna go in there and keep making this line. And sometimes you don't get it right the first time. Go back in and keep making your way, working your way up, working your way into that nice straight lineup. It's better for you to start low and go up than start too high, then you can't come back from it. So just take your time, keep working that hairline into exactly how you want it to look at the end. You guys can see I just keep working this hairline, and at the end, man, that's, like I said, that's the kill shot. So the nicer, the neater, the straighter you get your hairline, the more that haircut's gonna pop and stand out. Look at that fade at the side here while doing this vertical bars. It's just, I love seeing nice clean fades. That should be your goal every time you cut a hair, is to really you know, have an outlook of how you want the hair to look at the end and get as close to that as possible. And here we are, just cleaning up that hairline. Keep cleaning up that hairline. Boom. After his hairline is created, now we're gonna go back in and clean up all the excess hair that's there. As you guys can see, like I said, he has overgrowth of his hairline, so we're just gonna knock off all of that extra growth there. And make sure his forehead is super clean, super nice, and super neat, just to finish out this super good fade. Gotta have it crispy, man. Have them crispy at the end of this haircut. There you go. Just take your time, stretch your skin, and pull the razor. Don't forget to stretch your skin every single time, guys. You gotta stretch your skin. You guys can see how much cleaner that looks with taking off all the excess hair that he has on his forehead. Clean it up. There we go. And just to, you know, accentuate this haircut a little bit more, we're gonna put a little bit of spray enhancements on his hair just to let it pop even more. We're not putting on a lot, you guys. As you can see, it's just slightly, just to enhance this haircut a tad bit. Give him a nice, neat look. Take your time. Spray that area. There you go. And we're just gonna keep doing that throughout the whole haircut. The whole hairline, just so we can get that nice shot at the end of this video. And we're just gonna finish up here. And as you guys can see, look at this blend. Look at this transition that I gave this man, this young man, having him looking nice, sharp, clean, and ready for the rest of his day. There we go. Look at that blend, you guys. That's the look that we're looking for, that drop fade into the back. Alrighty, like I said, this is Sephora the Barber, your barber girl. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Drop any comments in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next fade.